So when was he crucified? So when was he crucified? Now, it was a preparation day for the Passover, and about the 6th hour, so this is the preparation day. So this tells you that he died before Passover on the preparation day, right? Now when we go to Mark, and they prepared the Passover, in the evening, he came with the 12, and now as they sat and ate the meal, so this is the Passover, right? Here, he was crucified after the Passover. Like on the Passover, he's still having a conversation with his followers. They were eating. That's the Passover meal. So this is not the day before. This is the Passover. This is not the day of preparation. This is them preparing the Passover. Now keep going. Next verse. Then they're sitting down and having the Passover meal. So this is not the day before, like the earlier verse. Here, he's still having the meal. He still hasn't even been arrested. So the Passover meal is on the day of the Passover, right? So earlier, the day of before, he's already crucified. Here, he's having a meal with his disciples. So when was he crucified?
Do you believe this book has contradictions? Can I show you? How did Judas die?
Hanged himself.
He hanged himself.
Yeah.
Now, if I said to you, no, Judas didn't die this way. He tripped over and his belly gushed open. If I told you that, you will tell me that's not correct. Would you tell me I'm incorrect, right? I'm not correct. Judas didn't die this way. And he was walking, he tripped over and he fell and then his belly gushed open. Then that's a different way of dying now. I'm talking about something else. Oh, can you open Acts chapter 1?
Now this man acquired a field with the reward of his wickedness. And falling headlong, he burst open the middle. And all his bowels gushed down.
According to Acts,
yeah.
Same book. He was walking. Instead of hanging himself, he tripped over, falling headlong, which is falling head first when you're running to something. Headlong is there. When you're rushing to something, he fell headlong. Then his belly gushed open. He was not hanged. Now,
in the other account, he says he hung himself.
Yes, and that's a clear contradiction.
Man, I gotta go.
Are you sure? In Matthew, it says that Judas, with the money of iniquity, the money that he took for informing the Romans about Jesus, he took that money of iniquity and he threw it on the priest, on the high priest, correct? The high priest took the money. If I said to you, no, he didn't throw the money at the priest. He took the money, he didn't throw it at the priest, and he went and he purchased some place. If I told you that, you will tell me that's not correct. Would you tell me I'm incorrect, right? I'm not correct.
Now this man acquired a field with the reward of his wickedness.
What did he do with the money? Purchased the field. So he, according to Acts, same book, he used the money instead of throwing it at the priest. He took the money, purchased the field, and that's a clear contradiction. You cannot do two things with the money. I cannot throw the money, the priest will take it, and then hang myself, and in the same time use the money to buy a field. It says clearly he purchased the field, right?
Yeah.
That's a clear contradiction. You cannot do two things with the money.
Read this for me. Isaiah.
What book are we at? 2 Kings?
Yeah, 2 Kings.
Isaiah was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem.
His mother was?
Ahathaliah, the granddaughter of Omri, king of Israel. Right.
So how old was he when he became king?
22 years old.
Actually, you're a preacher, man, I can tell. All right. 2 Chronicles 22:2. Read it for me.
Isaiah was 42 years old when he became king, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Ahathaliah, the grandmother of Omri.
Granddaughter of Omri.
The granddaughter of Omri.
So was he 22 or 42?
Whichever one.
It's a contradiction right there, right?
It's not a contradiction.
Okay, let me ask something. How old are you?
I'm 30.
So if I said you're 45 and you're 30, is that a contradiction? As a Christian, do you think this is the word of God?
Yes.
All right. Is the word of God perfect, man?
Oh, yeah. Well,
right? Good.
How do you say his name?
Jehoiachin?
Jehoiachin was 8 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months and 10 days.
Okay. How old was he?
8 years.
8 years old. 2 Kings.
Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 months.
Again, 3 months, Jerusalem. One was 8, one was 18. Those are mistakes, right? The reality is that anonymous authors writing in Koine Greek 70, 90 to hundreds of years after the time of Jesus wrote this, right? You can't rely on this, right? Then Job, go ahead.
Then Job gave the sum of the number of people to the king, and there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men who drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 500,000.
So how many for Israel? 800?
800,000.
And Judah?
500,000.
Excellent.
Then Joab gave the sum of the numbers of the people to David. All Israel had 1,100,000 men who drew the sword, and Judah had 400,000 and 70,000 men who drew the sword.
They don't match, do they? Right? Just I want you to be comfortable that you don't need the Bible to know, because you know people change this up. The Quran, which I'm going to give you as a gift, is perfect. Go home, read it, hit these guys up, check our channel, hit us up. So when you have something of perfection, why would you stop from it, right? In the Bible, in Matthew, now after the Sabbath, as the first day of the week began, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary came to the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake. For the angel of the Lord descended from the heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat on it. Now this is in Luke. Now the first day of the week, early in the morning, they and certain other women.
Yeah, sure.
So earlier it was two Mary, now it's certain other women.
Yeah, this
came to the tomb bringing spices which they had prepared, but they found the stone rolled away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So where's the angel?
Man must
So
be
these are
delivered.
two angels now.
Two angels. Yes.
Earlier it was one angel.
Let's go back.
Now the question I actually have is, in this verse, when they came, the stone was already gone.
Right.
In the earlier verse, they came and the stone is there, and angels descend and sits on the stone.
Right.
And then rolls it away. So was the stone already rolled away, or was it still there when the Marys went there?
Right. There is an inconsistency. There's a contradiction.
First Chronicles 18, verse 4. David took them from 1,000 chariots, 7,000 horsemen, right? 7,000 horsemen here, right? In the same Bible, this is in 2 Samuel, right? And then David killed with 700 chariots. So 700 here, 7,000 here, right? Now this is clearly what happens is that the Rasul translation, exactly, the original Torah that was revealed to Moses, and then which is the first 5 books, and then the other books from the Old Testament, the Jews they had to follow Babylon, they had the displacement, and they lost it. And Ezra the scribe rewrote this from different people's accounts, and in the rewriting they got all these contradictions, right? Because this is why the manuscript contradicts. This is in 2 Samuel 6:23. Therefore Mishal, the daughter of Saul, had no children to the day of her death. Is that correct?
Yes.
So Mishal, don't want to mix two Mishal, so she's the daughter of who? Saul.
Yeah.
How did she have any children till all the way to her death? No. In the same Bible, you just go a little further, still 2 Samuel 21, 7 or 8, sorry. It says, and the 5 sons of Mishal, the daughter of Saul. How can a woman have no children till the day of her death and have 5 sons? It says, and Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary. So we're talking about Joseph, the supposed stepfather of Jesus. Who was his father? Who begot him?
Jacob.
Right? Now, in the same Bible, when you go to Luke 3:23, right? Now, Jesus himself began his ministry at about 30 years of age, being the supposed son of Joseph, the son of Heli. How many dads the boy got? Right? You can go through this whole thing. Take these verses, right? Side by side, read them. They don't match, right? Then they're going to make up excuses. No one's about Mary. It says the husband of Mary. It says Joseph. It doesn't say Mary. It doesn't say daughter, right? Anonymous authors writing in Koine Greek 70, 90 to hundreds of years after the time of Jesus wrote this, right? You can't rely on this, right? So don't pray to Jesus. Pray to the one Jesus prayed to. There you go. God, the only creator. All right, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Great talking to you guys, man.
Great talking to you too.
All right, man. Assalamu alaikum.